This was a bit of a combined session because the previous day I wasn't able to get to the gym. I was really short on time and I did not want to lose any sleep over this. So what I did was a bit of a mix of the session that I should have done the day before and the one for today. This one here was gonna start with the trap bar deadlift. In the usual fashion, I was ramping up triples up to 140 kilos and then I did a back off set with 120 for 5 reps. I was able to record the 140 kilos this time because I placed the camera in a position where it was secure, and I can actually look at the technique. I think that the first rep that I did was very clean, and then the other two I was maybe drifting forward a bit. I was feeling a bit too much pressure in the front of my right knee, so for sure I was compensating a bit and losing some strength in the process. It wasn't a very efficient position. But I did get my sets in and I was able also to do a back of set, so I got some strength work at the beginning of the session, which was going to revolve around jumping on the box. But I was also going to do some stuff as a mix of a dumbbell work and also an overhead press. So after I got my deadlift in, I moved over to the benches and I was taking 10 kilo dumbbells and I was doing overhead presses with those. In here, similarly to when I'm doing incline dumbbell presses, I feel much safer and pain free when I'm keeping the elbows in the scapular plane and closer to my torso. If I flare them out even a little bit, I start feeling a bit of an annoyance. But I want to start training in those positions as well. And what I started to do was a bit of an isometric for time, where I was kind of exploring different angles and ranges of motion so that I can get some blood flowing in there. And isometric seems to be very good for tendon rehab anyways. I was doing 3 of these supersets, so I was going up to 10 repetitions with 10 kilos, which were a decent weight for my right shoulder. Probably the left one could have taken a few more, but as the right shoulder gets fatigued, then I start feeling a bit more of instability inside the rotator cuff, and I do not want to put too much pressure in there, especially since then I'm going into the isometric, which should also get a bit of an extra burn in a slightly safer and more controllable way. And then the pulley movement for the day was something that I was planning to do the day before. It was the tack rows. In here I was going for 3 sets, and the first set I did 7 reps. I feel like I'm losing more the lats at this point, probably because they were already pre-fatigued by the trap bar deadlift. It's what I thought. So this is the 3rd set, and already after the 2nd or 3rd rep I see that my back is completely collapsing, and at this point I'm basically doing a pull-up with my legs tucked to my chest, really. Alright, on to approach jumps, and they did not really start very well. I was leaning forward a lot, and it shows in this jump here where I wasn't really able to get the movement properly, and I kind of stumbled upon the top of the box and I experienced a bit of an embarrassing moment here. But then I looked back at the footage and I decided to address the issue. So on the next few sets I was really concentrating on keeping my torso tall and leading into the penultimate stride. But then at that point I was noticing that my block foot is kind of tapping the floor. I'm not really consciously and aggressively stepping to block my jump, and that resulted into a bit of a poor execution, not a very high one. And on top of that, I'm noticing that my hips tend to kind of bend as I'm at the top. It was probably a psychological block. No, I didn't want to stumble upon the box again, but many things to improve. Let's get on to it. Ciao.